Welcome back to the Malaysia Money Matters show. It's the 8th of October, 25.
All right, so today we're looking at quite a mix, some really interesting corporate moves, but also some serious caution flags on the bigger economic picture, especially from the World Bank.
Yeah, trying to piece together what it all means for you.
Exactly, connecting those micro stories to the macro trends.
Okay, let's kick things off with the markets. Big news first. MMC Port Holdings. They're delaying their IPO.
Yeah, pushed back quite a bit, actually, all the way to 2026.
Wow. Why so long?
They're saying it's to get the full year 2025 financial results included, which, delays a potentially huge capital injection, maybe over $1.5 billion US dollars.
So maybe they think 2025 numbers will look really good, or perhaps market conditions just aren't great right now.
Could be either, or both. It suggests some confidence in future performance, or maybe just waiting for a better window.
But it's not all delays, right? Some smaller listings are moving ahead.
Correct. On the ACE market, we've got Computer Systems, that's IT services, and Liftech Group, a crane builder. They're both filing for IPOs to fund their expansion plans. So still activity there.
Interesting contrast. Now, shifting to financial innovation, this sounds quite unique. New Paradigm Securities.
Oh, yes. Asia's first pawn loan-backed bond. RM 231 million raised, backed by pawn loans, basically.
Pawn loans, and just as gold prices are hitting record highs.
Exactly. It's securitization, turning those pawn loan repayments into tradable bonds. It sort of creates this new, pretty resilient asset class for investors.
And helps the pawnbrokers get funding too, I guess.
Precisely. Gives them an alternative financing route, which is quite significant for that industry.
Okay, let's talk performance. Insights Analytics, they seem confident about keeping their margins high.
Very confident. Targeting a 38% profit after tax margin, even after listing. They credit their intelligent asset management solutions.
So a good example of a local firm really succeeding in high-margin tech.
Absolutely. Shows that shift is possible and profitable. And speaking of positive investment, look at Binastra Corporation.
Right, the big Johor contract.
Yeah, RM 305 million for a major solar PV project, 65 megawatts plus a big battery storage system, 200 megawatt hours.
That's a serious chunk of change. Shows real momentum in green energy investment.
Definitely signals that private money is accelerating into Malaysia's energy transition.
Okay, one quick legal one before we hit the macro stuff. McDonald's and McCurry.
Yes. McDonald's won its appeal. The High Court agreed to deregister the McCurry trademark used by McSpicy Curry House.
So basically, the court felt McCurry was too confusingly similar.
Pretty much. Reinforces McDonald's brand protection. You can't just slap McCurry on something and expect it to fly, apparently.
All right, let's pivot to the macro picture. Budget 2026 is coming up this Friday. What are the expectations?
The headline number is expected to breach RM 430 billion. But the crucial part is how it's being spent. Most of the increase looks set for operating expenditure OPEX. Think civil servant salaries, subsidies, that sort of thing.
And development expenditure for infrastructure and future projects.
That's expected to stay pretty flat, around RM 86 billion, and this is where the World Bank raises a flag.
Because we need that development spending for long-term growth.
Exactly. They see falling development spending as a potential drag on future growth, even if the OPEX boost helps consumption now.
Okay. And the World Bank also updated Malaysia's GDP forecast, right?
They did. They nudged up the 2025 forecast slightly to 4.1%. Still decent resilience.
By cents a butt.
But they see 2026 as more restrained, also at 4.1%. They expect domestic demand to moderate and investment growth to slow down next year.
And there was a warning about trade, too, specifically with the U.S.
Yes, a pretty stark warning. Malaysia risks losing U.S. export market share, particularly in E&E electrical and electronics.
Why is that?
Our tariffs are apparently higher compared to regional competitors. So the E&E sector faces what the bank called an uphill battle.
Ouch. And structural issues like R&D don't help either.
Right. Not enough R&D plus vulnerability to what's happening with China's economy. It's a tough spot for a key sector.
Okay, let's quickly cover politics and regulation. The Muhyiddin Yassin case.
Still proceeding. The Attorney General's chambers rejected his bid to drop the charges, so that trial for alleged bribery is set for January.
Got it. And a big potential change for vapes.
Huge. The Ministry of Health is proposing a 10-fold tax hike on vape liquids from 40 sen to RM4 per ml.
10 times, wow. That's part of their pro-health tax push.
Yep, and it comes ahead of a potential full ban proposal they plan to bring to the cabinet.
But the industry must be pushing back hard on that tax hike.
Oh, absolutely. They're warning it could just drive everything underground, boosting the illicit market, which kind of defeats the purpose.
Right, unintended consequences. Finally, let's zoom out globally. The WTO forecast.
Yeah, not great news there. They've sharply downgraded the 2026 global trade growth forecast down to just 0.5%.
0.5, that's down from 1.8%.
A massive cut. And they specifically mentioned the expected delayed impact of U.S. tariffs under Trump as a key reason.
So putting it all together,
Yeah.
we have a fairly resilient domestic picture maybe, but constrained.
Right, constrained by that flat development spending in the budget and slowing investment.
Set against a really quite gloomy global trade backdrop for next year.
Exactly. It's that tension. Because
Yeah.
can our domestic strengths, especially in the private sector, like that green energy project, sort of overcome these gathering macro headwinds? That's the big question for 2026.
Lots to keep an eye on. Hopefully this deep dive helps you connect those dots. If you found it useful, please do subscribe to the Malaysia Money Matters podcast. Hey there, thanks for tuning in. If you would like a deeper dive into all the investment opportunities from today's news, subscribe to my newsletter at moneymatters.substack.com. I will be sharing a deeper analysis of the key investment opportunities from today's news, including what makes these opportunities stand out and how they fit into the broader market trends. By subscribing to the Malaysia Money Matters newsletter, you will also get exclusive insights on my watch list and portfolio and fundamental reports on Malaysian listed companies.